I thought I had something clever to start with, but of course not. Let's just start it the same way we always do. Welcome back to the Two-Way Hockey
Do we ever have
Podcast.
anything clever to say during
Eventually,
these podcasts?
eventually, I'm gonna be a little more clever, but you know what? I'm tired. I just woke up.
I know, I can tell.
Yeah,
I don't even
know.
actually
I got
convinced that
nothing.
you are woke up. Yeah.
I might still be asleep. I think I'm dreaming. We're not sure. This week's different. For the first time in podcast history, I think we have two episodes in 1 week.
Yep. So we have no stars of the week.
No
Can't
stars of the week because
yep.
we already did them. Pretty cool stuff. I mean, look at us being on the ball and stuff.
Wow.
Look at us.
2 in a week, eh?
Who'd have thought?
Yeah, we basically go on a penalty kill. We lose 2 guys, we're 2 men down, and yet hey, we do some more.
We're better. We're better on the
working hard.
We aren't even
whoa! Wouldn't say better. We're a little more committed, I guess.
Work hard. We work harder on the penalty
to make up for them.
Yeah,
make up for them.
I love it. I love it.
It's good content.
We might as well actually. Let's start with the Jay Bouwmeester news because we'll just get that out of the way because that was a little. If you haven't heard already, you're living under a rock. But Jay Bouwmeester had a cardiac arrest on the bench of the Blues game against the Ducks the other day. The video is frightening. I don't know if you've seen that yet, but
he just kind of heels over and just drops.
His eyes look like they roll back in his head. Absolutely, and just slowly just kind of falls over into the thing. And it's painful to watch, and I feel for the guy. Thoughts and prayers out with him, obviously. Apparently he's doing well in hospital, so that's good. He should be okay. Weird situation though, right?
It's weird. That happens. I found that happens every once every handful of years. Yeah, I almost remember when Rich Peverly had this same sort of deal, a heart attack on the bench or something. Yeah,
Yuri Fisher had a seizure, I think it was.
Right.
Similar, just weird stuff like that. These guys are in peak physical condition, and this stuff's happening to them. It really makes you think about your own life and what.
Right, but you can just see the panic too, right? That they got had going, and everyone, at least they rushed to it. They're pretty fast response. So
yeah, they got there pretty quick. He had to be hit with a defibrillator to revive him, which is incredible.
I know
the quickness they got there to be able to do that is it's wild. Good for them. Good for everybody on hand that was a part of this.
So hopefully he does well. I wonder. Hopefully he can play again. Hopefully that's not the way you call it a career. That's just
that'll be a tough way to go. I really don't want to see that.
Man, Blues are they're top of the division still, right? They're making another run at the cup. I think that's a real tough blow. I think if you lose Jay Bouwmeester,
he's a good defenseman. He's obviously not their best, but
but
he's
even
a really
still
solid presence.
The mental aspect of it too, right? Of losing a leadership role in the defensive end, that could take you away from the game.
Yeah.
Right. There's more to it than just that. So.
Yeah, so hopefully everything's okay for him, and hopefully he can come back. I'd hate to see him go out that way. That would suck.
Yeah, absolutely.
Moving on, back to the Leafs, because that's where we always head. They've only played once. This is wild. Half the time they're 3 or 4 games in between podcasts, and we never know what to talk about with them.
This time it's one.
We have one game to talk about.
One game. And
I was there.
You were there. You were cheering. So were you in the same section as we were for the Raptors game? Because it seems like all of your
I was close to the same section, I think. If it wasn't the exact same section, it was the corner across. So it was the same view.
Yeah.
But I was the last row possible.
Oh, really? So at least nobody's kicking your seat or breathing right down your neck. I could
sit on the back of the chair too, so I could see better.
Nice.
And I could see over everybody.
I mean, as long as you're in there, it's still a good atmosphere to be in.
It's fun, especially when they win, which they did. And
nice.
It's a pretty good game.
Nice. They did. They took on the Coyotes.
Yeah, they played well, I think. I didn't like the Nylander, Matthews, Marner line. I think they weren't very good together. I don't like that line.
Almost too much star power.
Yeah, it's just they don't. There's just too much going on there, and I don't like it. Yep. The second line of Tavares, Hyman, and Kerfoot. I came into that game that night thinking this line's gonna suck. I'm there's no way that works. It's not good. And then they go out and Hyman scores 2 goals.
Right, I was going to say.
Oh.
Put in 2, yeah. They're just hardworking guys, man. That was it. And actually, the only headline that I saw from that game was Kessel's performance was embarrassing, apparently. Yeah. That's the only headline I've seen. Yeah.
I honestly didn't. I didn't notice him. I didn't notice Taylor Hall. But the one player I did notice was Connor Garland, only because he clipped Jack Campbell when he came across the crease. I believe it was in overtime.
Okay.
And just came across.
Wasn't that the no goal?
Took him out. No, this is like even before that. We can get to that in a sec, but he was literally just coming across and just like took him out as the play was going the other way. I don't know if it was intentional. I didn't really catch when he did it.
Right.
But like just came across and took him out, like full on Jack Campbell, legs in the air, boom, down he goes. And that was the only thing I really like. There wasn't anyone on that team that stood out to me like, wow, you're really good. It was kind of like, yeah, they're all the same.
They're just like doing. I think they're crashing right now a little bit, man. Yeah, they're sputtering to get traction, and especially playing a middle Leaf team that's still fighting for all the points they can get. And I don't know their upcoming schedule, but
they were good as a team. That's the one thing I can say is like as a team they were good, and they
took it to overtime.
Yeah, so I was gonna say they took a pretty good team, Leafs team to overtime, and if they get that call on the goaltender interference, then they would have got the points. But
was it?
So being there live, I saw it. I didn't notice it live going on. Like it didn't look like goaltender interference when they scored.
Okay.
And then they showed the first replay, and I'm like, fuck it, nope. So we were sitting in we found these two little seats that were like on their own in its own little row. So we were sitting there because these guys left.
Right.
So we were sitting there. And I'm like, no chance. So I get up and I walk to go grab my coat, and I'm still kind of watching the screen as I'm going back. And they show the second angle where it's like the top angle, and you see who was in front of the net. I don't even remember who it was, but he goes, it was the guy that got hit the other day.
Oh, that's good.
Fuck, we mentioned his name too the other day. I can't even think of it. Either way, he goes and he kind of pushes, he pushes his shoulder back into not Hutch, Jesus, Campbell. Yeah, Stepan, that's who it was. Stepan's in front of the net, and he looks like Campbell puts his hand on him, but then Stepan backs into him with his shoulder and kind of
and that's what you see.
Campbell enough just before the shot.
Yeah, and that's what gets the call.
I think it was the right call to make. I think he just Campbell was at the edge of the crease. And technically, Stepan's feet were out of the crease, but where he made contact was in the crease.
That's where they look at it. I think that's
so. I think it was the right call to make. It hindered Campbell's ability to make the save, and I think they got it right.
And then Kapanen's goal too, coming back, just bats it down.
It was such an incredible shift in momentum because it went from the whole building was just just died, and then. You kind of feel it building again as the refs go to the penalty box.
Yep.
And they wave it off, and the crowd goes nuts. Like it was loud,
and then it just
all night. And then you could just feel the momentum shift for Toronto, and they get the puck back. And there was a couple of chances for them, and then they take that. It was a weird pass to the point, and Cap bats it out of midair.
Yeah,
just takes off, and
you're not getting. Yeah, man, the wheels are good. Yeah,
crazy.
Yeah, that's. So you want to keep those players around, though. I think I don't like those moments. He's capable of those moments in 3-on-3s, right? When you get there, he moves the puck very well, and even look at the hand-eye. His acceleration.
He didn't have a productive night outside of that because he would go and buzz by everybody and then just take a really stupid shot.
But that kind of saves your night a little bit, though. You got the win, you got the 2 points.
He did that. I'm like, you know what? I can forgive him because that was pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So I was happy with it.
You're forgiven.
Yeah, it was a fun win. Jack Campbell was incredible.
Was he? Yeah.
Oh my God, being there too, just watching him, just so calm, just so easy.
He looks a lot better than Hutch did in the net, and I think even there's confidence in front of him, and he's a really professional backup, and that's what I love about him, and that he's still able to come in and what he's been in the last few games, right? He's been in net, so he's still just hasn't said anything about it. Just came in, got traded, started them.
He loves it, dude.
I know what I'm doing.
He seems like he's enjoying his time there.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing.
It's great. I'm really happy for the guy too. He seems like he's enjoying himself.
Yeah, and it was a good culture change too. I think also having Jake Muzzin on the team, someone he knows, having a relationship there was good for them.
Plus, he came in with Clifford, who's apparently a good locker room guy, and it's a little easier to get settled in when you know someone.
Got some LA stuff there, and I'm sure there's probably some more connections that we don't see and
we don't know about.
The information too.
Yeah,
so
it's good.
Love it.
On the goalie topic, Michael Hutchison just got placed on waivers.
Okay.
It's not goodbye because no one's going to pick him.
No, but keep him there too. That's because I think Freddie's starting in Dallas.
Yeah, that's big news.
So that'll be good. 4-game absence.
He's got stat pack.
He's got a stat pack. He's gonna start.
He's gonna start.
He's gonna start.
Dallas.
Yeah, he's gonna park himself in the net. He's gonna smart park himself there.
Hopefully, he looks like Freddie.
I mean, if not though, you've got a pretty solid backup now, so I think that actually gives him a little more confidence, right? Because every year that Freddie's been there, they've always had at least a backup that's been able to step in,
lock it down,
take the games that he's been able to take in, right? And Freddie's just gonna come back in and go, yeah, you know what, all right.
Yeah.
I'll take my net. Yeah, Dallas is gonna be a tough team, no doubt. They're in a very
Dallas is not a good scoring team too, so that's a big bonus to come in.
They've got some shooters, man. Like
they do, but they're just not scoring this year, right? No. Like obviously they've got Sagans, but Sagan's got less goals than Zach Hyman this year, which is hilarious.
Oh, that's fun.
Jamie Benn's, you never know what Jamie Benn you're gonna get. Yeah. Radulov's been good.
Dallas is still third though in the division.
Yeah.
So
they're really good defensively, and they're a good team, but it's just they're not a scoring team, which I think.
Radulov's I think hurt. Hansel's hurt. Pavelski's out with a back injury, so they're a little bit hurt. And Ben Bishop though has been
great,
pretty and then Khudobin as a backup, even right. He's been solid.
He's been really good too.
Yeah.
So it should be an okay game.
Be tight.
They lost. They beat them last week, right? Or a couple weeks ago, I think. I don't really remember. Pulling shit out of my ass. Whatever.
No, yeah, it was a 5-3 win in
when?
Yeah. January 29th, 2020.
Oh. That was almost a month ago.
No, not really.
No, 2 weeks ago. I wasn't that far.
Wake up.
Okay.
Wake up.
Just feels like a month. Like a month. A couple more bits on Toronto. First of all, they re-signed.
They hired him.
They re-signed Pierre Engvall to
nice.
A 2-year, 1.25 AAV.
Not gonna lie to you, I thought his name was Peter for the longest time.
I guess technically it is in English, right?
Until just Pierre... now. I don't want to know, but I thought his name was Peter. So, welcome to the team.
A lot of people are just so hyped up about this deal, and they're like, "Oh, what a great deal!" I'm like, man, that's value for him.
Yeah, I think that's
he's played like 30, 40 games in the NHL.
That's a good slot-in piece. Again, like your bottom, never going to reach your top 9 unless like an injuries happen.
No,
like he'll just be a very bottom line, very fourth line guy come in for having. Yeah, no, it's a good deal because when you see the money that's being thrown out now, that's like nothing.
Sure, but everyone's out here like they just signed Sidney Crosby to this deal. It's like Pierre Engvall's played 35 games in his career.
Yeah.
So it's not like you're not getting this established player that's you're not getting someone who's been there, done that. Like you're getting a guy who's barely
what am I hoping for? 20 points? Sure.
Yeah, he's got 14 right now, so good for him.
I'll give you if you can get to 20, man, and you give me solid 20 points from a fourth liner. Awesome, I love it. Keep it there.
He's a good player, but this is his value. It's not like they got a great deal. They got what he's worth. I don't think they got any better than they should.
He skates a little interesting from what I've seen.
Yeah, he looks like a baby giraffe.
A little bit. But apparently, so do I at points. So
right. He kind of looks like you. It's weird. Longer neck, but like
see, I don't stick my neck out.
No. Okay. He's just got a really long neck, but everything else looks a lot like.
Now I'm gonna change my skating. That's it. No, I'm gonna go get a coaching.
Another kind of value contract piece that got brought up. Jason Spezza was saying, he didn't say it in public, but Chris Johnson was saying that he doesn't want to go anywhere else to chase a cup. He wants to win it in Toronto, and that the money doesn't matter to him.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So if they want him back next year, you're easily getting him back for the league min deal.
I think you do, though. Yeah, I think he's
earned it
back. Yeah, absolutely. And I think he'll sign back, and it makes sense, right? He's like a Canadian. Yeah, he loved playing for Ottawa area, right? He loves Toronto. He wanted to be here. Absolutely. Yeah. So I understand that. Completely buy in. And he's at the end of his career now. He understands, like, look, out of my teams that are close, like, you could argue going back to Ottawa, but Toronto obviously is the best chance to get him a cup. So he's going to stay here and try to help that.
Yeah. Is there better teams that could win a cup? Sure. But would it mean as much to him?
No, yeah.
I don't think so. I think there's a lot more meaning to him trying to win a cup for a team that hasn't won it in 50-something years.
And also, though, that might like get more players to buy into the whole like Tavares and the whole now Spezza thing, where they're like, you know what, love Toronto. I have the opportunity to go play here. Why would you say no? Like, why wouldn't you want to win a cup with this historic franchise?
Exactly.
It's almost getting to that point where it's like everybody wants to be the one to break that that streak, right? They're like, oh man, I grew up a Toronto fan. Like, I need to break this.
I want to be that guy.
I'm gonna be that guy. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so I think that's cool. Hopefully they try and re-sign him. I think he's been really good this year.
I mean, if you can just stay consistent, for the next. But if you can just kind of do like I'm not even expecting him to repeat next year. This kind of performance, like maybe just like, but not too much of a drop off, obviously, because I think team dynamic will change going into next year, depending on how this year goes, especially. So, no, I think that's a good deal though. I'd like to hear that from the team.
Yeah,
got a good locker room then. Got a good atmosphere.
Yep, it'd be a good pickup. I'm glad he's got that mindset. It'll be fun.
Right.
Okay, we can move on to the rest of the league.
Roll into the rest of the league.
All right. Game that had a little bit of impact on our spot in the standings. Not a big one because Montreal is still kind of chasing us by a lot. But Boston-Montreal, good game. I missed it. I don't think you saw it either. Saw the highlights though.
I saw a lot of the highlights of it. It was freaking intense though, man. Like so started off obviously. Pasta took back the scoring lead. Just said thank you very much.
Yeah,
gonna put in 3.
Down by 2 entering the game, and says, nope, enough of that.
I'll put in 3, and they were ridiculous too, man. They were good goals. I think Marchand had like a nifty little pass.
Oh, dude, Marchand toe drags the one guy and then puts it like between his legs to pick it up on the other side. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. I hate man. So he speared Jeff Petrie last night and then dropped the gloves without Petrie ever dropping it. They didn't really throw a punch. They just kind of tossed it to the ground. But it's like, if he took that little aspect of his game, that little spear, just that's a shitty play. Like everybody knows that your stick is there. Like just don't do it. If you're gonna drop the gloves anyways, you're gonna come meet him. Then why not that, right?
Yeah. Because he's such an incredible player too.
I know, and that's what sucks though, is that if you take yourself out, so he took himself out for 4 minutes there. So right at the end of the first, he walks off. They both got roughing, and then he got the extra spearing.
Okay.
So you put your team down for an extra 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And I can't remember if they scored or not, but it's also Montreal. But one team's if you do that against Tampa Bay, let's say in the playoffs,
it'll kill you.
Yeah, you're gonna get the Kadri treatment.
Well, if it's Boston in the playoffs, they don't get the call, so it doesn't really matter.
Right. Well, they seem to just yeah. Well, in that game too, right? Chara cross-checks Gallagher right in the face, two-hands him.
Yep. And it's offsetting minors.
Offsetting minors, and then the league just fined him $5,000 for it.
Yeah. Obviously there was something wrong with the play, but it's just hilarious what Boston gets away with.
Did you see that smack though? He
oh yeah.
The head went back, and even Chara goes oh, you're faking it. Your head goes back. He goes, no. When you see it again, you pushed his head that far back.
Yep. Just square in the throat.
Yeah. That'll be an interesting series, if they meet up in first round or something like that. If Montreal kind of sneaks in. Yeah. Well, if Boston takes first division,
that's going to be that's going to be tough for them to try and get that.
That'll be a big.
There's a long way to go.
What do you mean?
That was a tough loss for Montreal. They're now, was it 5 points back at Toronto, 6 points back?
Right, but they don't need the division. Montreal or Boston's top division.
Toronto's not even in a wild card spot. Technically in points, they're behind both wild card teams. Yeah,
Toronto is. Toronto's.
I know,
third.
but they're behind both wild card teams in points right now.
Right.
So even there's 7 points behind a wild card spot.
Right. Because that Metropolitan is just jammed.
Just so good. There's 2 teams in front of Montreal. One of them's in our division, so it's just it's tough to see them getting in. Could they do it?
Unless, but you're asking
do it, sure.
You're asking Carolina to fall back. You're asking Philly to slow down.
You need Philly, Carolina, and Florida.
Columbus too, right?
Yeah.
Columbus has to fall off, which they're not looking like it.
You need at least 3 teams to fall off, and I doubt it.
Right.
So.
Right.
Who knows? Maybe they get in. I doubt
we'll
it. Though.
See. Tampa's been dynamite though. I think we have that there.
God, dude, that division. They're quietly been that good too. I haven't even heard about
it though. Every year you expect them to do well. So that's where it was how did you guys sit 5th in the division for 20 weeks and then not 20 weeks, but they're oh, hey, here's first 30 something games. We're just gonna bottom half it.
9-0-1 in their last 10. They've given up. I think it was 16 goals. I put a graphic on our Instagram that isn't working again, and I'm not too happy about it. But they've given up. They've given up 16 goals, and they've scored 36 or something in the last 10, and they've pushed themselves into second in the NHL. They were out of the playoff picture for a long time,
They're
and
unreal.
now they're the second best team in the NHL.
Points going. They just keep working. And
Vasilevsky looks like Vasilevsky again.
Yeah, which they always do, right? They understand that it's a very long season, and with it, as long as you're within striking distance of that like around All-Star break, and you start making that push, they don't even need to make a trade. Like that's how good they are. They're already set. This is
it
the
was
same
basically
team.
like they made a trade in organization. Like they just became a different team within their organization.
Well, they
in the middle of the year.
They brought in Patty Maroon, which is big.
Yeah.
That's helped them with a little more.
It wasn't working out at first, but
no, but now he's still putting up. He's still like an almost the same way that they brought him in at Edmonton. Like he has the ability to somewhat score, but he's more of like a body guy, a grinder guy. Yeah. But can still keep up with them.
Yeah. A talented guy that can throw the body around a little bit.
Right. So probably a great locker room presence too, man. That dude's always smiling, it seems.
Really nice guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just they don't need to make that deadline deal because I feel like they just made their own deadline deal in just improving everyone across the roster. It's just
that's what they do, man. They're good.
Incredible team. I hate it. I hate that as of it's how it sits right now. It's their Toronto's first round matchup.
Yeah. I know, doesn't it suck? You almost want.
I don't know what the lesser of two evils is.
But that's the thing. Like, do you want to go to the wild card and then drop over to that? Like, either side, you're getting a tough.
Well, you're either gonna get Boston or Tampa.
Right. Or if you let's say you somehow drop out of this division and you go to the wild card, but then you go and take on Washington again. Okay, that's
if you become the number one wild card.
Yep.
Then you get Washington. I'm like,
or if you become
really
No, and if you become the number two, you get Boston, Tampa. You need to take these teams on.
Bottom line is you got to be able to beat these teams, and that's kind of how it goes. I think they can do it.
Yeah,
but it's so tough, man.
But I think that's what the new playoff format, like this whole you go division, then you go conference, or then you're the best of the conference. Like that's what's made it really, difficult. I find, right.
This is the first year though that it's not something we can complain about as Leaf fans because normally it's been like, oh, we're way too good to be playing Boston in the first round, like we're the 4th seed or we're the 3rd seed or something like that, right? But this year it's like we're definitely coming in as the 8th seed right now, and if we're getting Tampa Bay, I'm like, you know what, it could be worse. Could be playing Boston or Washington
but Tampa, no, I don't know, man.
It sucks.
Do you almost think you have a better chance at Boston?
Honestly, I think. I was kind of thinking that maybe I want to play Boston just because I don't want to go through a playoffs where we didn't play Boston.
Yeah, you've seen them more. You're a little more experienced. I think maybe you match up better too.
I want to slay that dragon. I want to be the Washington Capitals beating the Pittsburgh Penguins to go on to win the cup.
Go into the cup.
It's just it feels much better to be like, you know what? Fuck these people that said we can't do it. We beat Boston and then we went from there, right? Like I think that's it's much better. I maybe. There's not a lot of depth in Boston, and I don't fear that team.
There is. They just quietly have their depth, and they have their pieces, their system.
But they don't have Toronto depth. Like we were talking about this on the A Sports podcast. It's just like their first line is. I don't even know if it's better than our first line anymore, but it's really good. And outside of that.
Is definitely better than Toronto doesn't keep a
Marner Matthews
line though. Right, you just said you saw a Nylander last night.
I know.
So
they just changed it, but
exactly.
So,
and they've
been changing Marner Matthews Hyman. I don't know that Marner Matthews Hyman is closer to Bergeron, Pasternak, and
it's closer, but it's not. It's not.
No, that's what I mean. So, but it's close enough. And then 2 to 4, Toronto has the advantage on every line. Like
offensively, I'd say but defensively, Boston just is very they are a unit. They move together, they work together. They're gonna hit you. They're gonna force you into turnovers. They're gonna pressure you. Like they just, it's something. I think it's something about the jerseys, man. You see these big black and fucking gold, yellow running in the big bear on the front when they get those.
I'm not afraid of lines 2 through 4. Like I just don't. I don't see these guys as being.
I'm not afraid of them in the sense of their offensive production, but I'm afraid of them in their sense to just grind the Leafs down and really put them through a 7-game grind again. But.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. It'll be a fun matchup either way.
Yeah.
I don't know how we got onto a big rant on Boston, but
because if we went Boston, Montreal, Tampa, we're in our division. I think we should jump to the other division real quick to Pittsburgh because they made a pretty large trade.
Yeah,
Sure.
I was gonna go to Vancouver, but if you want to go there,
I want to save that for a little bit. That was a bigger deal than I think.
The Penguins got fleeced.
No.
If you haven't heard the trade, no. Okay, so it's Jason Zucker.
Yep.
Just Jason Zucker.
Yep.
For Galchenyuk, who no idea what Galchenyuk's going to be. He might not even be there next year. But then you get Kalen Addison, who was the first D-man on the power play for Team Canada this year. Incredible puck mover, really good defender, really big prospect. And on top of that, you get a first-round pick.
Yeah, that could be, conditional? Because if they miss it this year, it goes next year?
Yeah, okay. The condition is that they miss the playoffs, then.
But here's the thing, though, and this is why this is such a Pittsburgh trade, is you have Crosby and Malkin for Letang, Murray, even still, all their pieces are still there for the next X amount of years. I'm pretty sure Jason Zucker's still signed for a couple after this. Don't quote me on that, but he could be a mainstay, which is why I think there was also more, there needed to be more a pick or that high prospect, because it's not just a rental deal.
But that's a lot for Jason Zucker.
But dude, you need to, these are your last, probably, I would say 3 to 4 years of being highly competitive with Malkin and Crosby taking the team.
Jason Zucker signed through 2022-23. So it's a lot.
Okay, so this is what I'm saying, though. He has now become part of their system the same way that, you make a trade for Patrick Hornquist, and now he's just he's part of that system, right?
I get that, but
it's a very Pittsburgh trade because
Zucker's career high,
is
30. He had a career high 33 goals, 64 points in 27-18.
Okay, playing in Minnesota with no Crosby, with no Malkin, with no
No, I understand. But outside of that, he had an okay year last year, put up 42 points, put up 47 the year before his career high.
It's just a Pittsburgh deal though, because they're not they've proven that they can draft in whatever round. They don't. So the first round picks really whatever to them. That was the insurance to get the deal done. Kalen Addison, I didn't see him making a roster there in the next 2 to 3 years. Sorry to say,
they're so thin on defense in Pittsburgh.
But yet they still keep performing and they still keep bringing up prospect, or they sign players. People want to go there, man. Justin Schultz, he went from Edmonton to there, has stayed there the entire time now, right? They have Chris Letang, who just keeps doing Chris Letang things. They shipped out Ole Mattis.
It's so much to give for a guy that really has not proven much in Minnesota.
But
and has been absolute dog shit in the playoffs.
It's the trade that nobody, right? But it's Minnesota. You're in Minnesota, so that means you're playing all the Chicago's, the Nashville's. That's who you're seeing in the St. Louis's. Those are the first rounds you're seeing. Which
but they were back when Minnesota was good. Back when they were competing and they played.
But so was the dude. Man, Nashville made it to the Cup at the same time that they were competing. Chicago won three of 5 cups, man.
So in his playoff career, first year he played the playoffs 2012-13, 2 points, 5 games. Second time he makes the playoffs, 3 points in 10 games, and then 2 in 6, 1 in 5, and then none in 5 in his last one.
But they have Eric Stahl, you're having Zach Parise old, Ryan Suter old. We just talked about how dog shit they were though. But
it's just they weren't old when all of these were going.
But that never worked out. They never made it higher than I think that the second seed in the division. Maybe they were never top team. So
does that not concern you? The fact that this is their best forward and they couldn't really do anything with him on there. They weren't a good scoring team.
No, if you're Pittsburgh,
the centerpiece of it.
If you're Pittsburgh, you get rid of the money that Galchenyuk had. So there you go. That's perfect. You're now getting an actual player who's producing, not just what does that do for your confidence if you're Galchenyuk? You went from the 3rd overall pick.
If this is Galchenyuk and a second or third round pick for Jason Zucker, I'm okay, that's fair. I think that's a good.
No, but you were the third overall pick. You go from 3rd overall to a trade for Domi to a trade from Kessel to now you're getting trade for Jason Zucker. You're just your money. That's what it is. Someone paid you too much money, and now you're moving it. So he's not even a player that they wanted, right? Jason, that was the money. So if you look at it, break it down 3 parts. You have the money, which is Galchenyuk. You have the player, the prospect, which is Addison, and you have the insurance piece to get the deal done because Jason Zucker will be playing on that team till 2022-23.
Yeah,
the same amount of time like Crosby and Malkin will be there.
First round pick. I just think the first round pick makes it too much. I don't think Jason Zucker's that good. I don't think he's good.
I don't think they're even going to do anything with the pick, man. Who does Minnesota drafted recently that's been like, wow, that's a really great pick?
They also haven't really had. So Bill Guerin's never been there for a draft.
Okay. So this pick is also
this will be Bill Guerin's first draft.
But this pick is also 20 to 30.
Which is not that big a deal this year because it's such a deep draft. This is one of the deepest drafts in the last decade, and they're getting a first round pick in it.
We have two now. I think Minnesota
still has now, and one of them's going to be high, one of them's going to be mid, and you're going to get two solid prospects.
Awesome.
I don't know. It doesn't make sense for Pittsburgh future wise. I guess they're still trying to compete well.
You're in a win now. Yes, that is what their mentality is. That's why they shipped out.
It's a lot, regardless of what their mindset is. It's a lot to give up for Jason Zucker.
But no, I like it. I think that it's exactly what they needed. I think it's exactly
they're still getting fleeced for Jason Zucker. It's a lot of pieces that are quality.
I would love to see. I don't think we can really say it was fleeced until we see what that first overall pick is, or that first round pick is. Because if they walk up to that podium and mess that up completely and draft like a Nail Yakupov, oh my goodness, we've got all this potential, and just like then you're done. That's it. You lost the trade. Kalen Addison might go, oh, you know what? I got 3 years here. Yeah, okay, 5 actually. You know what? Trade me as a prospect too. I don't want to play here. Or you know what? This is bad. I'm just going to do my time.
It's too early to tell how it's going to turn out. But to me, right now, it's a fleecing for that Minnesota.
I think it's a potential, and that I agree that you know what? I mean, it's scary when you trade up a lot of potential that they've done, but you're getting the piece that you need to keep you consistent.
They just like to compete right now,
and they always they love those players, man. You lost Kessel, which was a big asset to your offense.
I don't get it.
And,
Jim Rutherford does some weird shit. So this was the tweet that I had in the notes.
Okay.
So Dmitry Filipovich, incredible follow on Twitter. He tweets out, "I'm convinced that Jim Rutherford trades for players just so he has someone new to trade again down the road." And then he followed that up with a list of players that he's traded for and then traded away within a year.
Yeah.
Starts with Ryan Reeves.
Yep.
He acquired him in June of 2017.
Went to
traded
Vegas.
him in February in 2018.
Yep.
Derek Brassard, February 2018. Traded him in February 2019.
Yep.
Jamie Alexiak, he acquired him in 2017, traded him in January 2019.
Nice.
Gabranson, February 2019 to October 2019. Galchenyuk, June 2019 to February 2020.
Yeah. But I always thought that Galchenyuk was just money moving, man. And Kessel was because when Kessel was going out the door, I think Malkin pretty much said, that's him or me. Like, you're going to make this deal done. I don't want this guy.
There's a rumor that I don't think was a legitimate thing.
No, you don't think so?
Even Malkin's like, that's stupid. Like, they were good friends.
Fair. Okay.
I'm like, I don't think there was as much to that rumor as people were saying. But
still, like the fact that you go Galchenyuk for Kessel 1-for-1, like, you know, like this is what Kessel's done, and this is what Galchenyuk's done.
That trade looks a lot worse.
Okay, so then maybe that they weren't all that wrong. Maybe there's more to it behind the scenes, and that's why. But Malkin's just professional and goes, "No, man, we were good online together. Yeah, like we were on a line. We played. We won cups.
You should be getting a lot more than Alex Galchenyuk for Philly."
But they didn't, and they traded. Then they just did. They just got Jason Zucker.
What's
Zucker? Call him the Zook.
Yeah. Jim Rutherford is the definition of falling backwards into success. Like, he just makes these trades that are just horrible that end up working, and I don't understand it.
But they're making the best of that stupid lockout year. Eh? Can you imagine if they actually played? Because that's what it was. They got Malkin, the second overall, didn't play. It went to like a probability, and then that's how they got Crosby. Was just their percentage was. Yeah,
I think it was Crosby Malkin, wasn't it? Because they got Fleury. They got Fleury, and then
it was Ovi. Ovi went before Malkin, and then didn't play that year. That's why they were the same draft year. Ovi was first, yeah.
I thought Malkin was the year after, but
no, fell into.
Because I know they got the first overall pick the year after they got to too.
Stop going on your phone.
Oh shit! Right.
Yeah, no, you're good. I just did the Shakira. Add that in. That's how we know when we've messed up. We'll just come in and we'll go, and we look for that. Look for that on the pod when we go. All right. That should be the new opening.
Okay, the 2006 Eric. No, because 2006 draft Eric Johnson was the first overall selection, so I was wrong. Wow. Yeah. Who'd have thunk it?
You're very wrong.
Who'd thunk that I'd be wrong?
I'm almost positive it was Ovi, Malkin, and then the year after, because of probability and lockout, went to Pittsburgh. And
the year after they had the second overall pick, you know who they picked?
Who?
Jordan Staal.
Yes. Hey, man, I don't mind that.
No, he was really good in Pittsburgh.
The only thing I'm really upset about was they had 3 Staal brothers on a line and just never got the 4th.
No.
There was a game in Carolina where they called up the young, I think he was the youngest, the worst of all 4, and they called them up for the last game of the season, and they put all 3 Staal brothers out there.
Yeah.
Why couldn't they pull a U and make a trade for Mark Staal? Come on. Make the worst trade ever, getting fleeced. Talk about getting fleeced.
Pittsburgh was really bad for a while.
Yes, and then they got Crosby.
They drafted Fleury first overall, Malkin second overall, Crosby first overall. Then they didn't even get better there. They still got the second overall pick. Like, that's not good.
No. But then they won the cup that following year, didn't they? Like, it was like Crosby's second year in the cup.
A few years later. It was a few years later.
3 or 4, okay.
It was 2009.
Right. Okay.
2007 here. Hold on. Good podcasting I'm doing here. Sorry. They got better though because they got the 20th overall pick in that one. So, yep.
They draft well though, man. I think they
do draft well.
So, like, what's a first round pick when you can go to the second, third, fourth? Then hey, we'll find our guy.
I don't know.
Come on, they got Simone.
It's still not a great trade.
They got
not a great trade.
No, I like it. I don't think anything of it.
Okay. Moving on to Vancouver. We'll come back to Canada for a bit. Yep. They retired the Sedin's jerseys last night. Their numbers last night. Sorry.
Beautiful.
Yeah, it was a really cool ceremony. I don't know if you heard Bieksa, but he was like the host of the night, and he did a 7.5 minute speech or something like that, and it was incredible. He did a really good job. It was funny. It was well spoken. He talked about them, their professionalism, and this and that. We have it up on our Twitter.
They were well respected throughout the whole league. Yeah,
incredible. But like just watching someone that used to play with him and just everything he had to say about them, it was really cool to hear. I didn't watch the full ceremony. I saw that and I didn't really bother looking.
I feel extremely bad for anybody who was not old enough to watch them play because you will never get that in this league again, where twins are drafted to the same team, spend their entire career, and actually have successful career. Like, even though they didn't win a cup, like,
put up Hall of Fame like numbers.
This is what I'm saying. You were still gonna say, you know what, they have to go in. Like, I can't see why you would say no.
They were so good together.
Yeah, and just the way that they would find each other too. Someone posted on Reddit, they were like, even still in, like, what is it? They're like in uniform, but it was like just their jackets and stuff. They both kind of put their jackets over together, like side by side, and they're just like twinning, like still just doing things without even.
They're incredible. They just had that weird sixth sense among themselves that they found each other anywhere on the ice,
and that was amazing to see.
And it was just. Yeah. You're right. You'll never see that again.
You will never see that again. To have that probability, like the twins who have the ability to perform at the same level. Like, I know that obviously, I believe it's Henrik better than Daniel, career-wise and stats-wise. So like, to be like legitimately like you're what, a handful of gold or handful of points off. Yeah,
it's incredible. Yeah, it's incredible what Brian Burke did to bring that in too. I'll see if I can pull it up, but. The trades he pulled off
just to get them
to bring in both of them was nuts.
Jesus.
It shouldn't be that hard to find because it was on his account. But give me 30 seconds here tops.
30 seconds. Okay.
Here we go. Yeah. Oh, perfect. Perfect. So Bailey Broadbent. I don't think they're anyone important, but they tweeted out, they go, friendly reminder, Brian Burke went full-on fantasy hockey mode to acquire both Sedins. He acquired the 4th overall pick for a future first-round pick and Brian McCabe.
Whoa.
Then he traded that. I don't know where McCabe went after Vancouver.
I know Florida, but I don't think Toronto. But he went
from Toronto to Florida.
Right, so I think was that the one that brought him to Toronto?
I don't think so.
We'll check later.
I don't know.
We'll double check later. We'll come back. Yeah.
So then he traded that 4th overall pick and 2/3 for the 1st overall, and then he traded the 1st overall pick for 2nd overall and the 3rd round pick, which is.
So then he got 1st and 2nd.
Yeah, I don't know. That doesn't make a lot of sense on that one to me.
I thought they went 2-3.
He had the first and second. I think that last one's wrong. But
was it a conditional or something?
Either way, he traded something else for the second overall and the third round pick,
right?
Which is incredible. But it was really funny because his daughter tweets out after that. She quote tweets and goes, "Fun fact: my dad left our birthday celebrations to make this trade, and at the time I said something like, 'How will you remember this decision?' She goes, 'Fondly.' It turns out, Hall of Fame return on the investment."
That's awesome.
He quote tweets that and goes, "The Sedins played 2,600 NHL games and never complain. My kids, on the other hand, ...
So they went second. They went second, third.
Second, third. Okay, so maybe they had the third already and they traded for that.
So I think that they just made sure that they got the second because it was the 99 draft.
Right.
So I'm trying to see who actually went first.
So he literally traded down with that first overall pick.
He wanted to ensure that he got the Twins. So Patrick Stefan to Atlanta went first overall.
Okay.
Which
I think that's hilarious because he traded down so that he could pick them back to back as opposed to picking them first and third.
Dude, look at this. So Patrick Stefan played only 455 games. Got 188 points, 158 penalty minutes. His last season was 06-07. The Sedins played 1,300 games, have over 1,000 points, and so stopped playing in 2017, 2018. Yeah, so what is it? It's Henrik has 1,070, Daniel has 1,041, and Henrik played about 24 more games.
Jesus Christ.
But they went Daniel, then Henrik.
Yeah.
That's lovely. That's awesome.
So is it safe to say that they made the wrong pick with the Daniel pick?
Yeah, that was rough. They should
have picked Hank first.
Well, I'm looking at some of these names and nothing sticks out from that draft at all except for them. Mike Commodore is in there.
Nice.
Nice. Just Ed Hill.
Not a good draft.
I don't even know, man. The Leafs drafted in the second round Peter Reynolds that year. It was who? Yeah. I don't know anybody.
That's kind of like the Rick Jackman.
Yeah.
He went he went fifth overall or something like that.
Okay.
He went high.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how did he go that high? He didn't really do much.
Tim
and then
Connolly
you look at
you
look at the rest of that draft. I'm like, oh.
Tim Connolly was the fifth. Yeah, Tim Connolly was the fifth over. Oh, Barrett Jackman went 17th to St. Louis. There you go.
Yeah. But yeah, it was a really good ceremony. And then Vancouver went on, and Jacob Markstrom just stole the show.
Oh, my goodness, man.
49 save shutout.
Dude, that's
Thank
so
you.
tough.
My fantasy team appreciates it.
My actual hockey team is just hating it. We even lost to, which we're going to mention now. I'm going to sneak it in.
We'll just transition back to back.
So we lost to a McDavid-less Oilers team. So we might as well just call it, hey, Lafreniere, you're going to look really good in a Chicago jersey.
No, because they're not even bad enough to get into that conversation.
We're going to get in that conversation, okay? There's going to
they got to do really well in that.
We're going to get some probability odds, some random lottery draft. You're just going to be, oh, whoops, the wrong card, and here you go.
I really want to see Ottawa get first and second. I think that'd be the story of the year because they went from being such a stupid team, getting rid of the first overall
and then
pick.
they draft Twins.
Then New Jersey goes and draft noted bust Jack Hughes because he's been horrible. So maybe they miss out on Jack Hughes and they're happy about it. I'm calling him a bust. He's been garbage.
I know you are.
Maybe they missed out and they're happy about it, but they pick up Lafreniere and they just get this world beater, and they also pick up probably Byfield or maybe a defenseman somewhere along the line.
Are you back on this Byfield-Caulfield thing? Because you're really confusing yourself.
No, it wasn't Byfield and Caulfield. It was Caulfield and Perfetti that I was thinking.
Wow, that was way out.
No, not Perfetti?
Yeah, so
I don't know.
Sorry, just quickly circle back though, because the McDavid injury, it's kind of big.
Yeah. Yes.
Even though they beat the Hawks.
I don't know if you've heard of the guy.
Yeah.
But Connor McDavid, probably the best player in the NHL, although it pains me to say it. Is it a quad injury, I believe it is?
Yeah, I believe.
Quad muscle. He's out 2 to 3 weeks, I believe it is.
Yeah.
That's a lot of weeks.
That's a lot of weeks for a playoff push.
That's a lot of weeks when you're on the Oilers too, and you're only 3 points clear.
They're beating Chicago, so you got that.
Right.
I don't know if you play them too many times though. So
no. Let me just pull it up quick. I don't know how to spell standings. I forgot the A.
That's good.
Yeah, good job, Brant.
It's like a car.
Last I checked, they were only 2 or 3 points up on the being out of the playoffs, I think it was.
Okay.
But now they are sitting at 66 points.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're only 3 points up.
No, they're
not being in.
2 points. Yeah, 2 points up on their division.
If Winnipeg picks up 3 points and Edmonton doesn't, they're out of the playoffs. That's how close that is.
Yeah.
So to lose McDavid for any period of time is bad. It's bad news if you're at Edmonton.
I mean, yeah, that's 2-3 weeks. I wonder what their stretch. I'm gonna just see quickly. So they play Tampa tonight, so that'll be fun. Tampa, Florida. Oh my goodness. Tampa, Florida, Carolina, Boston, Minnesota is like their next
horrible
stretch, and then they go L.A., Anaheim, Vegas, Winnipeg.
When he comes back
to finish off February. Well, that's to finish off February. So he might not be back. He might be back maybe for like you don't rush him back for an Anaheim game. I think your Vegas game is more important. So 26th range. Yeah, you're
that's
in for it.
That's a tough stretch to lose.
You're
into.
Those Good luck.
Bad games.
I wish you all the best.
I hate that team. I'm so glad it's happening, but that's bad.
Yeah, no, but that's gonna. Hopefully he comes back, and hopefully he comes back producing.
Yeah.
So.
Moving off the Oilers because.
Who after McDavid? What do you care? Yeah.
There's nothing left.
Sorry.
Liam Foudy made his NHL debut before our last podcast or after our last podcast. We forgot to mention it.
Yep.
Good. He got called up straight from the CHL. Goes to Columbus.
Love it.
Happening a year right now.
Yep.
I didn't really see his numbers on the game. I can pull it up, but I think the most hilarious part of that game, they showed a shot of his dad, and his dad has this big black eye, and they asked him about it later. He got it playing hockey.
Really?
And just this massive, like, I shit you not, it covered most of his face. This black eye,
and he's just. So was he playing like, just?
I don't know how he got it in a men's league game or something, but just big black eye. I'm like, that is a Canadian dude right there. I love it.
He had 2 shots and a hit in 10-23. Didn't do much, but I heard it was on an emergency recall.
Was it?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Don't know what. He's
a 2000 born kid.
Wow.
Crazy.
Good for him. Good job. Love it.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does something too to help them get the playoffs, keep them there.
Yeah,
he was pretty impressive in. He's back down.
Yeah. He was good in the juniors though.
I would have liked to see him stick around.
Yeah. Oh well.
I think he's good in the juniors.
Because he played that one game. I think Columbus has played since then, right? Maybe not. Maybe I'm way off base. Yeah. No, it's good. It's a good story. I'm happy to see him doing something.
Columbus played Tampa. He played the Tampa game, and that was it.
Yeah. Oh, they haven't played since?
No. They played Buffalo tonight.
Okay. Moving on, our last piece of the day, I think.
I think it's just heartbreaking for me too, because I actually listened to that podcast and laughed my ass off and was like, dude, this is great content. And now, go ahead.
Jeremy Roenick was fired from NBC after, so he was already been suspended for comments he made on Spit and Chicklets, and now he's been fired. I guess, or something. I don't want to break this down too far because we'd look like dickheads being on the wrong side of this argument. But like, to fire this guy, I heard the interview way after he got fired. Like, I was way behind, and I'm like, because you mentioned it, Nick mentioned it. He's like, yeah, I'm not surprised he got suspended. And I'm like, okay, it must have been really bad. It wasn't really that.
I'm not surprised that he got suspended because it's like they are like borderline comments, and unfortunately in today's bubble world, I'll just call it how it is. You know, if you got something that you can complain about, you're going to complain about it.
Yeah. But the worst part was like nobody even made a big stink of it. It wasn't an issue until NBC made it an issue.
NBC is making a big stink of it. NBC is the only people that I think are like, whoa, this was over the line. This was too far gone. You can't comment on this, and this. But like, if you actually take the whole pot or the whole even time where he's talking about them both, it's very like joking. It's very friendly and like, dude, it's one of those conversations. Patrick Sharp is an eye candy on that thing, man. Patrick Sharp, sue me, fire me now if you want. Yeah, those eyes. You want to listen to him talk sports, okay? I love it.
Yeah.
When he's talking Blackhawks, I'm like, oh, please come back and just play. Just stay on the bench. I don't even care if you do anything.
Like, his conversation about him was hilarious.
Yes.
And like the Catherine Tappan stuff, it just sounded like that was a conversation that I guarantee they have in person, like joking like that.
Yeah.
And it just sounded like that type of vibe. And I'm like, nobody made an issue of it until NBC said that's an issue.
That's what Spittin' Chicklets is just hanging out with the boys and just like talking. Like yet you can't do that.
No. It's just it's tough to see. I mean, he was good at his job.
I hope that it doesn't actually take away from Chicklets, like that people don't go, oh, well, you know what, whatever I say there, like and these guys, and these guys are actually really, really borderline. So you know what? No, I'm good, right? Because like, what happens if an NHL player comes up and says, hey, like do this, or that, like, you know what I mean, says the wrong thing, and then they're like, oh, you know what? That's it. You're done. Like you're suspended with this. It's like, man, no one wants to ruin their career anymore.
It's tough for Chicklets. It's tough for anyone going on there.
You're making it hard for us to get NHL players on our podcast here, NBC. Okay.
I'm sure that's the reason we don't.
This is the reason why we can't get anybody to come on the podcast on a consistent basis.
Yeah. Oh well.
We try. We're still here. We're coming at you more.
Do? Tough. I feel bad for the guy.
Yeah. But hopefully, hopefully, he gets picked up by some other.
He was really
company.
good.
Yeah, I think somebody vouch for him and say, hey, he was a good hockey personality.
Yep. So. I think that's it. I don't think we got anything else.
You think we're done? That's it, eh? Quick little week.
Yeah. Couple minutes. We didn't even hit an hour. I don't think.
I'm not sure yet.
We're close. I mean, the other one before we screwed up was like 7 minutes, but
good for you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I think that's good.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys again probably Monday.
Yeah, depending on when we release the episode, Monday, Tuesday.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sometimes we have to edit it again, like some.
Yeah. Oh, Jesus.
Please go watch that episode. This man put in some hard work for this. So we are on Spotify to make it easier for you. We are on the Instagram that we post on it. I'll shout it out on the Snapchat. I know you do as well. Yeah. Just go listen, support us. It's easy. Takes no time out of your day.
Follow us at the A Sports, at 2A Hockey on both Instagram and Twitter. You can find us on Facebook at the A Sports. You can find us on our website, theasports.com. You can subscribe to us down there. Here we go again. We can't figure it out. Somewhere down there.
You can find us playing hockey at the outdoor rink too if you want to come by.
Yep.
Been doing that. Just find us any way you can.
Just come enjoy your time with us. We're fun guys.
We're all right. We can answer some questions if you want. Yeah, if you want to make an in recording call, we can do that. We'll
sure. We can do lots of things.
We're gonna try lots of things now to just get you entertained, get you hooked in here.
Whatever you guys want.
Whatever you want. We're listening to the fans. Send us your comments.
Have a good one.
Enjoy.